Hey, good morning, everybody. Crypto Mentor 99. How you doing? It is Saturday morning. This little guy's got to go to the dentist this morning. What a way to spend Saturday. But before I get into this video, I've got a couple of video dedications to do in alphabetical order. Number one, I want to give a shout out to Barry and Stacy. Barry, I've had a few phone calls with him for the crypto consultation. Great guy, older than me. He's the oldest guy that I know in cryptos personally. And secondly, again, in alphabetical order, Jeremiah and Nikki. Oh, and did I forget to mention their grandson, Lucas? Again, I've never met Nikki nor Lucas, but Jeremiah. If you look up the word interesting, Jeremiah's picture is in Webster's dictionary under interesting. So anyhow, let's get into the video. I did a video similar to this a year ago maybe, but I've gotten so many new subscribers. I was just thinking about what video should I do today. So let me tell you about the greatest gift I've ever received. No joke, this is all serious. The greatest gift I ever received. So as many of you know, I talk about Guatemala. Little known fact, I also go to Cuba. That would be Cuba in English. And I went there one time, not that long ago. And I met a man in a village, or a town, I guess, that spoke English very well. And his name was Kevin. And I was shocked, because he looked like he was an American, but he was Cuban, clearly, and his wife spoke no English. And I said to him, basically, hey, tell me about your life. And he's like, well, I'm kind of in a tough spot right now. My bicycle is broken. And if you know anything about Cuba, a bicycle is a very important vehicle to have. I mean, forget about a car. You're talking people that live in rural areas, bicycles, just a bicycle, not a motorcycle. I'm like, well, why? He's like, well, I sell mangoes in the town this way and the town that way, and I haven't been able to do it. And I said, well, what's keeping you from going to the town selling mangoes? And he said, well, my front tires broke on my car, on my bike. I'm like, well, how much does that cost to get fixed? And it was some ridiculous low amount, like $30 US. So right or wrong, I give the guy $30 US. He starts crying. His wife starts crying. I start crying. I'm like, this guy could not go to work for 3 months because he didn't have $30. And I just boom, boom, boom. There you go. Go get the tire fixed. And his wife kind of reminded me of my oldest daughter. And through Kevin, I started talking to his wife, esposa. I said, hey, tell me about your life. And again, she wasn't working me for money. These were people that I knew some of their friends. I'll just put it that way. So these weren't like random people. They didn't know I was a tourist. So I decided that their family needed some more clothes. Please stick with me on this. I know it's going on 4 minutes. This is the most important video I'm ever going to do. So I gave them some money to go buy some clothes. Kevin started to cry. She started to cry more. I started to cry more. And as we parted ways, and this is where the greatest gift comes in, she says to me, well, I feel like I need to give you something as a gift in return. He's crying, she's crying, I'm crying. I said, you don't owe me anything. I said, it's an honor and a privilege for me to help you. And she's like, no, no, no. Again, she was speaking Spanish. Her husband, Kevin, was interpreting. And she's like, no, no, no. Again, she's like weeping, not crying, weeping. And she's like, no, 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 I want to thank you. And I said, well, whatever you want to give me that you think you and Kevin want to give me as a gift, you go right ahead. I don't want to stop you. So she gives me a dish rag. This is true. This is basically, we would call it a dish rag in the United States, but in some of the countries where it's super hot, the women and the men carry around like a sweat rag, and they kind of wipe the sweat off their brow, right? When they're standing out in the hot sun. And when she gave me this dish rag, or I call it, really a sweat rag, I started to weep, not cry. I started to weep because this was the only thing other than the clothes on her back. This was the only thing she had in her possession that she wanted to give to me. And I store this, the greatest gift I've ever received in Cuba, me gusta Cuba, in a plastic bag. And my grandchildren know the story about this. My adult children know the story about this. And now you know the story. And once I got back to the United States with my basic dish rag or sweat rag, my priorities started to change. A lot of things inside me changed as far as what success looks like and how I can help other people more. So anyhow, this is the greatest gift that I've ever received. And it was the only thing this couple in Cuba had to give me. And for reasons I think you can understand, that's the greatest gift I've ever received. Love y'all. Bye-bye.